Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining today's webinar on what's new in Password Manager Pro. Before we start, I would like to get a quick confirmation from you all. Hope my voice is audible and the display is well and clear. If not, please use the chat window and let us know so that I will be able to correct the audio video setup here. All right, so I got few confirmation and it looks like the audio and video is good. A quick introduction about myself. I work as a technical consultant here at ManageEngine, and it's been like 8 years with ManageEngine now. And as a technical consultant, what I do is basically deploy security solutions in organizations across the globe. And during the implementation stage, I get to interact with IT administrators and security experts and get to know their IT security challenges. So in today's session, we will discuss about what's new in Password Manager Pro. So for the next 30 to 40 minutes, we will be discussing upon that topic. And this complete session will be recorded as well as we will publish it over the web. And we will send the link to all the registered participants. Apart from that, if you have any question answers during the session, please feel to raise them and I will answer towards the end of the session. All right. So today's agenda, this is going to be the today's agenda. I'll be starting off with a brief introduction about the DevOps support and its implementation, followed by custom plugins for legacy devices. And I will also touch base of the workflow builder for SSH-based devices. So the crux of this webinar would be to use the latest features like DevOps, legacy system, and SSH-based devices in an effective manner. So the first one is going to be CI/CD platform integration, which is nothing but continuous integration and continuous delivery. Platforms are usually automation tools that help organization automate their configuration management through pipelines to run a routine tasks without human supervision. Execution of these tasks more often than not require sensitive information like privileged passwords, API keys, and access tokens to the interface with other systems, applications, and services in the environment. In most DevOps environments, such credentials are stored in plain text within script files to enable smooth task execution without service delays, which can lead to many security and management issues. To mitigate the risk that can emerge from such practices, Password Manager Pro helps eliminate embedded credentials in DevOps pipeline by providing integration capabilities with various CI/CD tools. This integration ensures that required credentials are retrieved securely from Password Manager Pro's vault every time a task is executed instead of being stored in plain text within the script files. So currently, Password Manager Pro plugins are available for the following CI/CD platforms. The first one is Jenkins, and the second one is Ansible. I will show in detail how to configure Jenkins, and Ansible works the same way. So I will take an example of Jenkins, and I will show you that in detail. Okay, so to start off, Jenkins is a leading Java-based open source automation tool that is widely used in DevOps environments to build and test software projects continuously. So SDLC tasks related to building, testing, and delivering or deploying software can be created as a automation schedules in Jenkins named jobs. Execution of these jobs more often than not require user credentials and similar sensitive information like privileged passwords, API keys, and access tokens to the interface with other systems and services. In most DevOps environments, such credentials are stored within plain text files in Jenkins service, which can lead to security and management issues, right? So in order to avoid that, Password Manager Pro plugin developed for secrets management in Jenkins helps to improve security in the organization's DevOps pipeline. The plugin, once enabled in Jenkins, ensures that required credentials are retrieved from Password Manager Pro's vault every time when a job is run, instead of being embedded in plain text within script files. So to begin using Password Manager Pro plugin for Jenkins, the following are the two major steps involved in getting set up and starting to manage Jenkins secrets with Password Manager Pro. So step one is going to be enabling Jenkins integration in Password Manager Pro, and step two is installing and enabling plugin in Jenkins. Okay, so I will quickly show you what has to be done. So the first point, if we take enable Jenkins integration in Password Manager Pro, it's pretty straightforward. You will come to admin tab. Under integrations, you will find CI/CD platform integration, and here you will find Jenkins. Similarly, just click on enabled, and you have to generate an auth token and copy it. And you have to type in the exact username here to whom the passwords have to be shared, right? So if for example, if you are trying to retrieve a password which is shared or added by the account admin, then you have to provide that account over here. All right, so I have copied the auth token and I'm clicking on enable. All right, so this is the first step. The next one is going to be if you come to our help page, all right, so you will see you can see the Jenkins plugin available here, right? You can just download this and you can install the plugin. And to do that, you will have to log into the Jenkins. You will see Manage Jenkins here, configure system. All right, and once you click on configure system, you have to give the PMP access URL, and you have to paste the auth token. All right, once the auth token is placed, you have to click on apply and save. Okay, so this is the first step. And so this finishes installing and enabling the plugins in Jenkins. However, yes, we do have a few steps. You have to download the SSL certificate of Password Manager Pro and import it into the Jenkins in the machine in which Jenkins is installed. Okay, so you have to do it and you have to restart the Jenkins server. I'm not able to show you all those steps here because this is, I mean, a webinar, right? However, I will show you once the plugin is installed and the certificate has been added. You have to just click on Manage Jenkins and Configure System, and here you will provide the URL of the Password Manager Pro and the auth token, and you'll click on Apply and Save. Now I did it. So the next step is in Password Manager Pro, with the help of Jenkins, you can design any freestyle projects. So I will quickly create a new freestyle project and I will show you. So I'm giving the project name as PMP and I'm selecting the freestyle project. I'm clicking on OK. So it has created one now. So here I will go to the build environment, and you will see this option, manage credentials with Password Manager Pro plugin. So I've selected it. And now here I'm going to give the resource name for which the password has to be retrieved. So I can come here, go to resources. I have created a resource name here for Jenkins. So I'm just giving the same resource name and the account name. Let me copy the account name here. All right. and the account name has been configured. And this is the attribute which you try to retrieve using the Jenkins. Okay, so there is a list of attributes which can be taken from Password Manager Pro. So that is available here: resource name, description, operating system, DNS name, department, location, resource URL, account name, nodes, and password. Okay, so also resource level and account level additional fields can be retrieved, okay, except for the files. So now I'm trying to retrieve the password, and this has to be typed the same way. So I'm just copying the password here, and I'm putting the attribute. And here I'm going to give an environment variable. Okay, so this can be anything of my choice. So I'm just giving my password. All right, and yeah, so to show you how this password is getting retrieved, I'm going to execute a simple Windows batch command. So I'm putting echo within double quotes, percentage, percentage, and my environment variable, which is my password. I'm typing in my password, apply, and save. So now my project is being created. My freestyle project is being created. Let me try to build that project. Yeah, so it has been successfully built. I'm clicking on that and I'm clicking on the console output. So now you see the password is being retrieved using Jenkins from Password Manager Pro, right? And if you connect to the PMP web console and if you see the password, it will be the same password of what we have here, right? So this is how the Jenkins integration works in Password Manager Pro. Ansible also works the same way, and Ansible also has the two steps: enabling Ansible integration in Password Manager Pro and activating the plugin and Ansible playbooks. So Ansible is a popular open source orchestration tool provided by Red Hat, which helps organization automate their configuration management and a similar repetitive process. Ansible users can create instructions for routine tasks in form of a playbook that is basically an automation schedule. Execution of these playbooks more often than not require user credentials and similar sensitive information like privileged passwords, API keys, and access tokens to the interface with other systems, applications, and services in the environment. In most DevOps environments, such credentials are stored in plain text within playbooks to enable smooth task execution without service delays, which can lead to many security and management issues. All right, so that's it. Ansible also works the same way as Jenkins, where you have to create an auth token and the username to which the passwords are being shared, and use that in the Ansible playbooks to get it configured. All right, so this is all about the DevOps integration. Now let's come to the next topic. Before that, we are also planning to provide Chef and Puppet integration in future. Okay, so yeah, so that's all about a CI/CD or integration, or the DevOps integration. So the next topic is going to be password reset plugin. Password Manager Pro primarily provides out-of-box support to enforce automatic remote password reset for a wide range of commonly used resource types such as Windows local accounts, Windows domain accounts, Linux root accounts, etc. In addition to this, the password reset plugin feature enables you to add your own implementation class and enforce automatic password resets for the resources that are not supported by Password Manager Pro out of box, such as legacy resource types and in-house applications, etc. Within the plugin, you can also leverage access control for legacy accounts and enable automatic resets of passwords instantly upon usage. This way, the passwords of these accounts will serve as one-time passwords that are reset after every use via the associated plugin. So how does the password reset plugin work? Is primarily a implementation class that an administrator has to manually add inside Password Manager Pro. The plugin can be invoked from Password Manager Pro server to connect to the remote resource and carry out a password reset. So password reset plugins can be configured individually for resources that are user-defined resource type. When you trigger the reset for a resource belonging to a custom resource type for which a password reset plugin has been associated, then PMP will invoke interface methods of that plugin. Once invoked, the plugin will first connect to the remote resource and try to reset the password of the resource. If the password reset is successful, completed by the plugin, PMP will subsequently update the new password in its repository. In addition to this, the plugin helps you to verify whether the password of the remote resource is in sync with the one stored in the locally inside Password Manager Pro. Okay, so these are the summary of steps. Create your own implementation class, compile it, and yeah, we have the implementation tips for you, as well as configuring how to configure this plugin in Password Manager Pro. Okay, so creating your implementation class. If you just come to our help guide, we have given you how to create your implementation class with the detailed description and how to compile it. We have also given it for Windows and Linux. And the implementation tips is nothing but these are all the placeholders, or whenever you're creating your own class, you might need to know the property which needs to be retrieved from the Password Manager Pro, right? So you can make use of these placeholders to retrieve that. All right. Once your implementation class is ready, you have to just put it inside the Password Manager Pro bin folder. And from the web console, I will show you now how it works. So you have to first navigate to admin, and under customization, you will find password reset plugin. And you have to click on add a reset plugin, give any plugin name, for example, Jira, and your implementation class. So now whatever is the implementation class, you have to provide that. And I will just give an example here: com.manageengine.helpdesk.jira secret reset plugin. And you have to just save it. So once you save it, it will be sent to the authorized admin for the approval. Okay, once the authorized administrator approves it, you can see the approved one over here. Okay, so now once you have created your own implementation class, the next step is you have to associate it to your own resource type. So click on admin, click on resource type, click on add. You can give any name here. So since it's a Jira, I'm clicking on Jira. You can select the resource and account attributes which needs to be a part of it. And then here you can select password reset plugin and the plugin which has been already been approved by us. So once it's done, click on save. Now, if you come to the resource, you can click on add resource manually. And I'm just going to give Jira test. And so Jira Service Desk is a part of here. I'm clicking on save and proceed. Test. I'm giving test one, just adding an account here. Now click on add and save. So now if you try to reset the password of this Jira account, it will get changed on Password Manager Pro as well as the target machine. Okay, so that's how this Jira, I mean, custom plugin works. Okay, so you can create your own implementation class and use Password Manager Pro to reset the passwords on the target device. Fine. So that's about the password reset plugin. So the next topic is going to be on the SSH command sets. So Password Manager Pro mainly provides out-of-box support to enforce automatic remote password reset for a wide range of commonly used resource types such as Windows local accounts, Windows domain accounts, Linux root accounts, etc. For custom resource types that are not included out of box, PMP now provides SSH command-based password reset option. Though this, you can add password reset commands used in the command line interface of your resource type directly inside Password Manager Pro without the need of a CLI terminal. Note that this feature is supported only for the devices which allows the SSH connections. Okay, so but the password reset plugin, which we discussed earlier, is for legacy systems and applications, whereas SSH command sets is only for SSH based devices or anything which supports SSH based connections. All right. Now, how to configure SSH command sets? We will go ahead and check that in detail. Okay, so I will quickly connect to the Password Manager Pro web console. So here, the first step is you have to come to admin under customization. You have to click on SSH command sets, and then you have to click on add command. So here you have to give a command name. I'm going to add it as brocade reset. And here you have to give the command which is used to reset the password. So I'm just giving username, password, new password. Here, username and password or the device commands to reset the passwords. A login name, old password, and new passwords, or the placeholders, basically, which will fetch the value from Password Manager Pro. And the prompt should exactly match the prompt on the device. In case of a brocade, it will be hash, so I'm just putting hash. And the timeout is the period at which Password Manager can connect to that device and wait for the command to be executed successfully. In case of this, I'm going to give it as 20 seconds, and if you want, you can give an optional description as well. I'm clicking on save. So my SSH command, which I added along with other commands, will be displayed over here. Okay, so now I created a command. The next step is to create a command set. So I'm just going to click on add command set, and I'm going to click on brocade reset. Okay, and I'm going to use this command for resetting the brocade device. And I will similarly use the other one which is already there to verify it. And if you want, you can also use more commands. Okay, it's not mandatory that should use only one command. You can very well have more than one command here. I'm clicking on save. All right, and my command set is being added here. Once the command set is being added, the next step is you have to create a custom resource type. So come to admin and click on resource types, add a resource type. You can also give brocade reset, and you can select the resource and the account fields which you need. Now click on advanced. Here you have to click on SSH command set, and you have to select the brocade reset. It is you can very well have multiple command sets associated to a resource type. So along with brocade reset, I will also add brocade. All right, click on save. So now my brocade reset has been added as a custom resource type. Now I can go to add resources, click on add resource manually. I will give a resource name as brocade NG for New Jersey. I will give in the IP address, and in the resource type, I have to select brocade reset. Okay, click on save and proceed. I'm going to add test one. So for which I can associate brocade reset or brocade. So you can have multiple command sets associated to a custom resource type. Yeah, and the similar way, you can also add test2 and add brocade for it. Click on add, and let me create one more account, test3, generate a password and add. Click on save and proceed. All right. So now here the Brocade neutral C device is associated, for which I have created multiple command sets, right? So you can very well create, go ahead and click on edit accounts, and if you want, you can have your own command set created here. Now, when you try to change the password, Password Manager Pro will make use of the command set and the commands which is present in that in order, and it will reset the passwords on your new SSH device. In case here, it's the example Brocade, right? So any SSH based device you have, if you have the login sequence for password reset, login sequence and the password reset sequence, you can just add that sequence inside the Password Manager Pro by creating SSH command sets, and you can use that to reset other devices which you have, right? So yeah, so that's about SSH command sets. Now it's time for questions. Please raise your questions through the chat window. I will answer it now. Also, the complete session is recorded, as I told you in the beginning, and if in case we miss to answer your questions, we will send you a separate email with all the questions and answers to it. So, there was a question. Would you want to show the passwords in clear text within Jenkins, or what was the purpose? Yeah, basically the problem is what everyone will have is they will have the passwords stored inside Jenkins in clear text. Okay, I just showed you an batch command which will print the password. Okay, so that's just an example. But what everyone do is they will have their own automation tools for which they want the password. And these passwords will be stored in clear text. So instead of having that in clear text, they will build a project using Jenkins, and they will just get the password from Password Manager Pro. And this will help to do their automation job easier. Okay, so that's the purpose. Are these new features only available for Premium and Enterprise Edition? Yes, you're right. It's only available for Premium and Enterprise Edition. Are there plans to do a general overview of the new features in the latest version of PMP? Uh, Definitely, we will try to come up with one more webinar for that. Okay, so I think that I have answered almost all the questions. If in case I have missed out any questions, I will try to send it as an email to you, and the recorded session will also be published and will be available for you guys. So if you have any feedback, please do send it to Password Manager Pro-support @manageengine.com. And all right, once again, thanks for joining the webinar in your busy schedule. Hope this webinar was useful and informative. Have a nice day. Cheers.